let's just see if anything happens.
Oh, are I supposed to be on that too?
Yeah, it says we are live.
Yeah.
And
Just get rid of this altogether. How do you get rid of that? You've got to be kidding me.
oh, good. It looks like we're there.
Confirm. Okay. Any comments? Do we have anybody on yet? Nobody on yet. But hey.
That's right. Ah, yay! There we are.
That's right. My sizzle's lost its sizzle.
Right. We're there. So I will say once again that when I post to Facebook,
right,
it now is an event.
Yes,
and it doesn't even come up in my own timeline. I have to go to events.
Ugh.
You know, I don't know why that's. I don't like the new format.
No, I don't like it either. And then last night, I guess you have to say you're interested,
right,
before you forward. I don't know. Yeah, I mean it is.
And I tried to tag you.
It is an event,
but instead of tagging you, I had to share it to your timeline.
Oh, okay.
And I tagged, and I don't know. It's
so that's only going to help. Jim's on. Well, Jim found us.
Yeah. Hey.
Morning, Jim.
Thanks for joining us today, Jim. It's been a while, huh?
Yeah, it has been a while.
So, shall we get started, Keith? And then we're going to get into
our last. We were supposed to be on April Fools, and we weren't.
Yes, and it turned out to be an April Fool. Even though in my post I said this is not going to be an April Fool,
right? And it ended up was. And what we were going to do, we were going to sit on different sides, and I was going to wear the glasses. Joe was going to wear the cap.
Mm-hmm.
And
I was going to puff up my cheeks a little bit.
Right. And he was going to do all the stuttering, and I was going to do the
actual show. Like the research and
so
all that type of stuff.
So I get so I guess it's good that it didn't happen. Research, production, the whole thing.
That's right. All right. Shall we get into it?
Yeah. I got my coffee. Hey, it's Saturday morning. Let's do a show.
I got
my coffee. We'll be back in a second.
All right, here we go.
From the Somerset Studios in Westchester, Pennsylvania, it's Smack and Jack Live with your co-hosts Keith and Joel Slenderman.
Yeah, Keith, we probably should come up with a new theme song because if anything, the one thing we have not done over the course of this show is smack debt in the face.
Yes, no,
and jack up any income.
I've actually smacked my income in the face and jacked up my debt. But I've been struggling with dyslexia my entire life, so
that's great.
I mean, I like the song.
It is a great, I must say. Yeah,
we just got to put
it came out pretty well.
Yeah.
We need to update that. Of course, we've been
on
the road to updating that theme song for years and years. All right, Keith, you have a gripe to start us out with. Well, first off, let's talk about the weather.
Okay, yes, the weather. Well, it's not very.
The weather outside is
delightful.
It's actually been very, very delightful for the last
week.
From Easter on.
Yes,
it's been delightful. The last major rain we had was Monday, Thursday. I remember it poured rain and we had some wind and this, that, and everything. Plenty of rain on Monday, Thursday. I was in church, of course. Then after that, beautiful week for Easter. Warm weather, dry. Last Saturday we were supposed to have rain, and I was all prepared for rain.
Right, that never happened. That
put stuff down on the yard because I knew we were gonna have rain. So we had a half-hour rain, and ever since then it's been very dry. To the point that the pollen and
well, and if you're in the Pine Barrens, they say don't start any fires because they'll start on their own.
Yes,
there has been some wildfires, even locally. The Pine Barrens, Jersey's not too far away, so that is local.
Yeah, they have a lot of, like you said, wildfires over in Jersey and all that stuff.
I think it's weird that it's that dry that it could just fires just start.
Yeah, indeed.
Yeah.
And to think you have a wet winter, it rains all the time. Now I will say this, out right behind our house, where our patio is?
Yes.
Okay. And then I have that strip of grass there.
Right.
The ground in that area, if you put your finger on it, it's still completely saturated.
Yeah.
The rest of the yard is dry. But that
would...
part of my yard is still, to the touch, is still saturated. So if that dries out,
maybe
then
you need to put some, I don't know, plantings in there. Something that drinks
we have
more
grass and all that stuff.
Well, something that drinks more water than grass. You need maybe bamboo or something. Right up against your house.
All right, Keith. What about this key fob issue that you had?
Whoa, man! I almost lost my drum set, as big as it is, almost fell into my coffee. Has that ever happened? Hey, Neil Peart, if you're up there in heaven, has that ever happened? Has your drum set ever fallen into your coffee? Well, let me start off this. Snare. The key fob thing with Joel. You were talking a couple of weeks ago about the doggishness of your wife's car when you give it gas.
Yeah, there's like a delay between. There's like a play in the gas pedal.
My truck is off getting some cosmetic surgery for last month, getting touched up, paint and all that. So I got a loaner, which is a Tacoma. The Tundra is a V8, the Tacoma is a V6, and it's about the same size as my Ranger that you used to have. And my Ranger, it was a stick shift. This is automatic, and I'm still not big on automatics. But my Ranger always seemed to have plenty of pep to it. Maybe it was lighter, probably is lighter than these new cars. But anyway, when you give this thing gas, you really have to step on it to get it to move. I'm thinking, God almighty. And then I feel like I'm driving a four-cylinder in this car.
Yeah.
Like if I have to go overtake somebody, you floor it and then it goes into the lower gear, and then all of a sudden it goes, it's almost like it's a turbo.
Yeah.
Oh, it's horrible. And I wanted to buy that when I got the Tundra. And I'm really glad I didn't. And the gas mileage might be 2 miles better.
Yeah.
In the smaller truck.
In the six cylinder?
Yeah, six cylinder.
6 cylinder.
And it's half the size of the truck. I don't think it's a win-win at all to buy the smaller one. That's
It sounds like a win-lose. You might save a few dollars. On the purchase,
maybe.
But
actually, that one it was about the same price because the one I wanted, it was about. Because the one they had was.
I'm not seeing any win in this.
No, there isn't any win.
Now, were you going to talk about the key fob or?
Oh yeah. Hey, we don't have any time, folks. The show's over. The key fob. Well, this thing has a key fob too, so you keep it in your pocket. When you get closer to the door, it automatically unlocks.
Yes.
The driver's side, which is good. But I always hop into the thing and throw it into my side, and then you get out and you forget the key and all that kind of stuff.
Right.
And that's not too bad. Like I have a key fob on the motorcycle, and on the motorcycle, in the old days, you had a key for you turn it on. Whatever you do when you're done, you got to turn it off and leave. Well, the other day I was polishing my old bike, and I had the ignition on for my Harley, and I was listening to music and all
listening to your tunes, not thinking about the voltage of your.
I wasn't thinking about anything once I had my tunes going.
Right.
And so when I got done polishing the other bike, I closed up the door and left. And always having the key fob in my pocket. That way, if anybody breaks in, they can steal the bike, but they'll never get it running without.
Yeah. Right.
So I go back to take a ride yesterday because it was so beautiful out, and nothing at all. Not even my little alarm. I'm like, and I look up, the ignition's still on. And
so your point here.
I don't see a point at all. I see a point that don't get old, don't become forgetful.
Yeah. So the issue is that you had the key fob was in your pocket. And then your motorcycle was on.
Right. Well, I think if I didn't have a key fob, if I had an actual key that I had to stick into the motorcycle or take out of the motorcycle, I would have shut everything down and left.
Right.
But now that you don't have to do that,
you kind of forgot about the motorcycle and just left.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I think that's a problem too with the truck, with these new cars. You can't get into them without the key fob. You can't get it started without the key fob. But like I said, when I just hop in and I throw my keys on the console, if I get out and run into the supermarket and forget my keys are there, somebody can just hop in and drive off.
Yeah. So now
I'm not a real big fan.
How the rest of us live.
Right.
In my family, we have a key for every vehicle. Of course, we have the remote door opening.
Yes. Right.
And we actually have to put the key into each ignition, including the motorcycle. I have a key.
Yeah.
With the van, as you know, the van, I actually have to use the key to unlock the door.
Wow. Goodness, that's old.
Because the remote opening doesn't, the remote doesn't function any longer unless I'm standing right there at the door, because the receiver is no good anymore.
Now, you sure it's the receiver, not the battery?
I have no idea. I changed all the batteries in the fobs.
Okay, yeah,
and it didn't help.
Yeah,
that's how we live at 534. We have the old key. We haven't stepped up to that fob.
Well, I had on my truck
with
recently.
Remote starting.
I replaced my the battery and I didn't think those things were serviceable. I thought if they went bad, you had to buy another one for $100, but you can pop them open. There's a little battery inside.
Okay.
And I had to do that. So
cool.
Yeah, things are looking up, and but
all right. Well, things are not all dreary.
No, they're not
here
all
at
dreary.
Smack and Jack. So 2 weeks ago, as you know, was Easter.
Right.
Sunday, Easter Sunday, and we had an Easter egg hunt.
Right.
In your absence, we went ahead and took care of that for
right. Yes.
At this point, just Connor and Claire was over for the Easter egg.
Yeah. Wow.
So just two of them.
And they're not little anymore either, are
they? They're not. They're not.
Yeah.
But I wanted to show everybody a remnant of what our Easter egg hunt left behind. So these two eggs, when I was out cutting the grass last week, I found these two eggs. I did not hit these eggs with a lawnmower.
That's what was going to be my first thing.
Yeah, I saw them before I did that. They were around two different trees. And take a look at them, because they are they've been cracked open here. They were cracked open over here. And this one obviously fell apart. And then the inside, which is like little tiny Milky Way squares, those were empty. The paper was ripped and on the ground.
Yeah, okay.
And
so they're sloppy as well.
Exactly. So I don't know if a bird got into this or.
Now let me ask you here: when you put these things together, they look like there's two halves, and you just kind of put them together.
Yep.
And then when you want to get them, you just pop them open. So why didn't they just pop them open instead of break?
I don't know.
The absence of opposing
you can lead
thumbs,
a horse
maybe?
to water. You can lead birds to eggs. You can lead.
They can't give them opposing thumbs.
Yeah,
that's something. They broke into them like a real egg.
So I don't know if it was birds or what that broke into them.
Well,
no
don't
idea.
blue jays? Certain birds eat eggs.
Yeah, blue jays do.
Maybe they were blue jays.
So that was the leftover, and I was all excited because I thought maybe the candy would still be there, but silly me, that candy was gone. The paper was kind of shredded. You can see where the paper was. It wasn't torn open; it was kind of chewed open. So that was a leftover from our event last week. So anyway, now staying in the yard, shall we go on to our grass cutting? Now, even though we've had a lot of rain, or not a lot of rain, the grass has been growing by leaps and bounds.
Yes.
And you do know that bamboo is a form of grass.
I didn't know
it is a grass.
Get out of town.
And I can't tell you what scientific name it is. So folks, I just wanted to go over the bamboo issue that we have in our backyard. So we've always had bamboo issues, right? On both sides, we have the smaller species of bamboo, by the driveway and wherever by our neighbors. Okay. And they're, the stalk is like that.
Okay.
This bamboo here, which is on that far left corner of our property, if you're looking out the back door, far left corner, neighbor's pool's back there. I don't know. Can you see my cursor on there? Okay. So behind that fence is our neighbor's pool. And over the last few years, this different species, and I can't pronounce the name because it's 35 letters long, of bamboo, which is, 1.5 inches to 2 inches in diameter, some of them, and they grow to 30, 40 feet tall. That has been sprouting up in that back corner. And look right down here. Now, this is our yard, starting to get into our yard. Yeah, it's a little messy because it's spring, the forsythia is looking a little ratty and this, that, and everything. But So this is what those sprouts look like. Here and there and there. Now, all of these sprouts could potentially grow to about 30 to 40 feet.
Wow.
And, this one here, that sprout is like 10 feet into our grass.
They must, I guess they run subterraneously.
And you see the root system. And I knew that this was going to happen because back over the winter, I could see some, they surface a little bit and go back down. They surface a little bit and come back down. So I go around and I kick all these. I think probably what I will do is also take my shovel and dig down and break each one of those runners that I see.
Right.
Now, that won't necessarily kill it. However, just like grass, if you just keep cutting it, it will eventually die.
Yes, right.
Now, I'm not going to kill all that big bamboo back there.
No.
But what I just want to do is keep it back there and not on our yard.
Right.
So, and just like the bamboo, the smaller species on either side of our yard, I've been able to maintain that pretty well. So this type of bamboo you see on the roadways, you see in people's yards, and it will literally, as you were jokingly alluding to, it could creep right up to our house.
Yeah.
Well, we just let it go. We just,
I used to watch a program listen to a radio program. It was a gardening show, and it was got to be maybe 20 years ago. I started listening to that, and the guy was saying maybe it was 20 years ago that bamboo became popular as a property break, edging, all that kind of stuff. But he was just saying how invasive it is and how hard it is to get rid of once you get it.
Yeah.
So I really doubt there's a whole lot of places now that you can get bamboo just because people have found out once you get it.
Yeah, I think it is illegal. It's become an invasive species. Now, I guess there's clumping bamboo and there's running bamboo.
Okay.
The clumping is generally safe.
Okay.
However, you need to make sure it's clumping.
Yeah.
Like because if not, I've read stories where people thought it was clumping and end up kind of spreading itself. But like you're saying, the running bamboo, I was reading last night that there was a species brought to, just like I was showing you, brought to Georgia in like the 1870s.
Oh, it's been that long.
Yeah. As a ornamental, whatever barrier type thing. And then of course it's spreading all over. So, and there's different types of bamboo. When we think of bamboo, we typically think of tropics and all that stuff.
Right.
But there is a bamboo that can survive in, like all the way up to Canada.
Wow.
Different species all the way down. So some bamboo struggles to survive in heat above 90 degrees or so forth. And then there's bamboo that struggles to survive below, 20 degrees below zero. But there's plenty of bamboo that can fit each one of those different climates, which is kind of crazy. So there's bamboo north and south, up and down.
So I was go back to that one picture of the sprouts, the first sprout. And as you know, it takes me back to those things on the beach at Kentmore that would pop up.
This thing here?
Yeah. And what did I used to say? Think you can eat those things? That's the first thing I thought when I looked at that. It's like,
yes, you can eat them. You can eat bamboo sprouts.
Bamboo shoots are the edible shoots of bamboo plants that are featured in many types of Asian cuisine. The shoots are typically peeled before consumption, as exterior has a woody, thick texture and can be difficult to chew. They can be found in many forms, including dried, fresh, or canned. And then it says this other question: can humans eat raw bamboo shoots?
Yeah.
Well, this one it said something. When eaten raw, bamboo shoots contain a toxin that produces cyanide in the gut.
Oh, so
well, it says I guess I lost the other thing. How do you remove cyanide from bamboo shoots? And it says hydrogen cyanide can be removed by further processing, such as cooking, baking, boiling, or roasting, or fermenting the bamboo shoots. Slicing strips liberates the cyanide, which can be, so you wouldn't eat them raw anyway. So
right, yeah.
But I was just thinking, it's like, Remember those little things?
Mhm.
They must be similar to.
Well, that was a grass, right?
Yeah.
The
Okay.
reed down
Yeah.
there?
Right. Yes. Okay.
I mean, so it's related somehow. But I think of that often, and I don't. These here look like they would be edible.
Mhm.
The other bamboo that we have, comes up. It's a whole lot thinner than that, so I don't know if it would be worth it.
So this is the bigger stuff.
This is the bigger stuff here, and then it just grows in diameter as it grows. But so anyway, if you have bamboo folks, and I've done a few different videos on my other YouTube channel, Lenderman Shop. So if you want to check out Lenderman Shop, and I have like 3 or 4 different videos of over the years of me kind of managing bamboo. Because again, I have neighbors on all sides who have bamboo. There's no way that I will get rid of the bamboo. But if I can at least maintain it and manage it, then that's
This thing I was listening to said also you can put, now it can be ugly, it's going to kill everything, but rubber mats, like thick rubber mats, you lay over the entire surface, and it just they won't get lighted eventually.
And there's other things that you can do. And there's other herbicides that say will work, like the really, really strong stuff. That will work. But then you're going to wipe out the entire. And putting a mat over all this is just not possible.
I know. And if your neighbors have it, like you said,
it's going to keep coming over. I'll never stop it.
So you could, even the tall stuff, you could cut it down to the fence, plant grass seed, and then just go over there. You might not want to walk over there.
Right. Well, that's what I did over by our
all the time.
Okay, so over by our shed, along that fence over there, that used to be all bamboo. I cut it all down, planted grass seed, and I just mow it. I just mow it and keep up with it. And then you do see a lot of dead stuff in there, dead roots, dead runners, and all that. But you also see some of the new stuff coming up again. So you cut it down. Just keep cutting it like grass, and then it'll eventually die because it needs photosynthesis.
Right, it needs the green stuff.
So all right, so that's our segment on bamboo. If you have bamboo, folks, then just cut it down, mow it, or
boil it.
Or there you go. Let's move on. We also wanted to talk today about muscle twitching. And while we're on the slideshow here, the reason why I have muscle twitching up here is because when we were going to do our show 2 weeks ago, when we were going to do our show 2 weeks ago, I had an eye twitch right up in here that was going for like 3 weeks.
I can't imagine 3 weeks.
It wasn't constant for 3 weeks, but it was.
I do get it.
It's pretty annoying.
Well, and it's embarrassing because if you can see your eye, you can actually see your. Whoever's looking at you can see like, oh my God, this guy's having a seizure.
And I'm standing in front of third graders doing something. Right. My eyes. And I'm thinking, can they see that my eye is going like wacko right now? Anyway, muscle twitching is caused by minor muscle contractions in the area or uncontrollable twitching of a muscle group that is served by a single motor nerve fiber. Muscle twitches are minor and often go unnoticed. Some are common and normal. Others are signs of nervous system disorder. So if you have one that lasts for a while, then you might want to go to the doctor to get that checked out.
Now, I wonder how long, because yours eventually went away. Would you have, if you had the time?
I wonder about that too. I would say months rather than weeks. So muscle twitches are caused by our muscles tightening up or contracting involuntarily. In other words, when we're not actually controlling them. Muscle twitches can happen for lots of reasons like stress, too much caffeine, a poor diet, exercise, or as a side effect of some medicines. There's a list right there. You can kind of go through and start trying eliminating on your own. Although most twitches go away in a few days and are nothing to worry about, some twitches can be caused by nerve problems or other medical conditions. Let your doctor know if you have a twitch that doesn't go away. You notice weakness, tingling, or numbness in the area where you get muscle twitches. Or it looks like the muscle is getting smaller. Now, I couldn't really measure my muscle up here.
Did you get up there with a tape measure?
I had no idea there was a muscle up there, but I guess our entire body has muscles, right? So getting enough sleep, avoiding too much caffeine, and eating healthy foods, like lots of fruits and vegetables, can help prevent some muscle twitches. And that statement goes right back to our breakfast segment where we said eating some fruit and maybe vegetables for breakfast to start your day off. There are also good ways to stay healthy overall. So,
on I never get enough sleep. If I'm lucky, I'll get 11 hours a day, and
That is way under.
That's pushing it.
That is way under the average of a household cat.
Yes. I'm part feline. I just coming to as you were coming over here, I got up early today at 7:30. I got up.
Wow.
On a day when I don't have to get up early. That's early.
Yikes.
And I'm going down to get our morning snack. I'm thinking, I wonder what time Joel's average when he doesn't have to get up. Time to get up. What time do you get up in the morning?
Normally, if even during the summer, I set my alarm for 6.
Okay.
Or maybe 6:15.
Wow. And does that always wake you up, or do you get up around that time?
I normally set the alarm. I don't.
No, what I'm saying is,
do I actually get up?
Well, I mean, do you wake up and get up or start moving around before that alarm goes? Or
no. That does wake. It does wake. Okay. Yeah. Because in general, I'm in bed by 10:30 on the school days and even on weekends. School days I try to get to bed by 10:15.
You get up earlier than that school days.
5:15 on a school day, 5:20. And then Steph's sometimes up before that. So, but I found I kind of like the morning time.
Oh, I do too.
I
worked the other day, yesterday, 7 o'clock in the morning. So I got up at like 5:30.
Mm-hmm.
If I don't have to shave or do too much eating or anything, I can get up at 5. Sometimes I get up at 20 after. And that is my problem with that is I wake up all night long because I'm afraid that alarm's not going to go off.
Yeah. You got to trust the system.
Yeah, I know. And a lot of times I'll wake up right around the time, and I like to turn off the alarm and get up before I hear the alarm, because that's like that. No matter how quiet it is.
Yes, right.
It's just such a rude awakening.
Yeah.
And it kind of.
Yeah. Who needs alarm clocks anyway? Like who invented them?
Yeah. But anyway. Yeah, but I do once I get up, and it's nice driving to work and the sun's starting to come up, and it is
nice. And there's not like a whole lot of people out.
No, and it's just
there's people out all the time.
And I always say I'm going to get up in the morning, that time when I'm not working, go out back, have a cup of coffee, watch the birds. But when I do that, and it's like, well, tomorrow I have to get up. So why am I getting up at 6 o'clock now? So anyway, all righty, moving on.
All right. So one more little segment here before we get to our trivia, and then we'll do jokes.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, let's go back to the screen share. I found the story. Let's go to the screen share here. And I'm going to show it to you, Keith, on Safari. For those who are not familiar with Safari, let me show you my new little trick here. So I found this story. A dog takes a 30-mile ride in engine compartment of a car. And this video was actually first posted by this lady on TikTok, and we'll find out who she is in just a second. But notice how this particular, these articles are just saturated with advertisements and all that stuff. So for those now, I'm probably the last one to know this. But on Macs, iPads, phones, MacBook Air is what we're on right now. If I just go up here and press, if you can see that up here, press right there, bam, there's the article without all the advertisements.
That is great.
Isn't that kind of cool? So I think if somebody knows if you can do this on Google, how you can do this on Google, go ahead and let us know that in the comments, because this is definitely cool.
Yes.
Because all those ads and everything, man, they drive me crazy.
And I'm going to have to get a new phone eventually. I've been thinking about the Mac only because I could get all my music on the cloud.
On the music, yeah.
And I'm thinking this might be the push I need.
Right. Have this and then boom.
Because I tell you, most of what I do, I was just telling you, these kind of things I read are on my phone.
Right.
And boy, you can't get to the end of that because they're overlapping pop-ups,
right.
And then you
you just then your stories hopping all over the place as they're trying to read, right? Because they come in and out. Now, we can talk about that later, but you might be able to go on to Safari on your phone that you have and see if that works.
Oh,
on my iPhone, I have Google that I normally use.
Okay.
But I also have Safari.
Oh, okay.
So maybe it's something you can check out. Okay. So dog. So this is an interesting, this is the actual story here. Dog takes.
This is the story, not the story.
This is the story, but I wanted to show you how I got to it.
Okay.
So 30-mile ride in engine compartment of a car. The small dog climbed into the engine compartment of a car in Kansas and ended up taking a 30-mile ride with the oblivious driver to Missouri. So Carrie Gillespie, a digital reporter and host for the Kansas City Royals baseball team,
Okay.
Said she arrived at Kauffman Stadium in Kansas City and heard whimpering coming from another vehicle in the parking lot. Royals Charities coordinator Ashley Newman, the owner of the car, was summoned to the parking lot. So she went in to get Ashley and said, "There's something coming out of your car here." So I'm rushing to unlock the car, pop the hood. We look for a few seconds, and sure enough, there are two little eyeballs just looking up at us. A team of co-workers, including the Royals' lead mechanical technician, Dennis Miller, said about the task of safely extracting the dog from her tight spot. We're able to take the under trim off and get her free. It was huge relief. I have a dog of my own. I was thinking how I would feel if she went missing. The canine was taken to the Kansas City Pet Project, and Newman took to Facebook to find out if anyone near her home was missing a dog. So Newman found that a post about a dog matched canine's description and was able to help the Johnson County resident reunite with her pet. So she was relieved that there was a happy ending. So that dog, now there is a little video of that I'm not going to show you because that'd just be like way beyond my technical expertise to extract the video, a TikTok video, and show it. But
yeah, we don't know what kind of dog this is.
It's I want to say like a poodle type dog.
Okay, I was thinking a Burmese.
It was it's actually a sizable dog.
Jeez.
It looked like a little bit bigger than the dogs you used to have.
Wow, I can't imagine.
And it was
them not getting burnt. The engines get awfully hot. And
yes,
the fans
somehow it got it was in the undercarriage and. Yeah. Anyway, so when they got the dog out, it looked maybe a little dirty, but it was, it was moving around, drinking its water. And
so
all
that car didn't necessarily have horsepower; it had
doggy power.
Shut up!
All right, bravo. All right, we only have a few minutes left in our show here. Thanks, folks, for sticking around. If you could smack the like button, love the love button. Tell us where you're coming in from.
Just a quick snippet here. TikTok.
Mm-hmm. All right, let's make this a quick
one. We're not doing this right. We got to be like this, and we got to talk like this, and we I am now an influencer
because you just did that.
Yeah, influencer. People, anybody out there? Hey, Debbie's on. How's it going? What the heck? Bleep, 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 is an influencer. I don't have a job, so I'm going to sit home looking at myself and my phone at these 3-second snippets, and then I become an influencer.
When we find out what an influencer is, we'll be the first to let you know. Yeah. I'm
becoming more. I'm withdrawn from society. Once I was just talking before the show. Once I retire. You're not going to like anything about me, folks. I'm sorry. I'm just not getting anything.
Can we start a list of things we like about Keith now?
Well, if it's small to begin with. It's going to be even small. All right, let's go on. What do we got? Jokes or something?
All right. Yeah. What do we have now? We actually have trivia, folks.
Oh, okay.
So our trivia, I think we have 5 questions of trivia.
Okay.
And it's a little bit different than, as I told you before, the format of that website that I used changed. So I had to change kind of how we present the trivia. So it's actually going to be on one of my slides. So we'll do our trivia, and then we'll come back for jokes, and then we'll finish up with trivia, and then we'll let you go on about your day, and everything will look up and be brighter after we're done here, because we'll be done with our show, right? All right, let's go back to our screen share.
Might be happy.
Sorry about jumping back and forth to screen share. I don't like to do too much screen share, but sometimes we kind of have to. So, all right, let's get back to our screen share here, and we'll go to here, and we just finished that up. All right, so number one. These are all kind of like it's somewhat current, trendy type questions.
Yeah.
And I'm going to bet that you know one of them.
Bo Bice.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
All right. American Idol runner-up, Bo Bice. Is that how you say it? Bo Bice, Bo Bice, Bo something. Released what song
Bo Bice
in 2005?
I'm pretty sure he's a Bice. What?
Okay, number 2. What singer earned praise from critics in 2008 with A Few Words in Defense of Our Country? With A Few Words in Defense of Our Country. Okay. Number 3, which female singer recorded There You'll Be, featured in the movie Pearl Harbor? Number 4, what reality TV star released a single called About Us in 2006? Number 5, looks like we have 6 of these. Number 5, Nelly, P. Diddy, and Murphy Lee had a number 1 in 2003 with the song Shake Ya.
Shake Ya. Is that English?
I think so.
Okay.
Just like BJ.
Yes.
2003, Justin Timberlake had a hit with the song Cry Me A.
Okay.
All right. So those are our 6. I'll leave them on the screen
Wow.
for just a second. I'm wondering.
Joey's got to know all of these. Joey's.
I would think so.
Yeah.
I would think
this
so.
This is right up his alley. P. Diddy, Justin Timberlake. What's the other guy from Canada? Justin. Isn't there another Justin? Whittle, Diddle, whatever. Bieber. See, we gotta.
All right. So those were our questions. We'll come back to
tough.
that.
I gotta tell you.
We'll come back to that very shortly. Back to here.
Again, being a removed from the pop mainstream is
Yeah, I thought that might be a little
Yeah.
tricky for us. So as a group, the 2 of us
well,
and our
maybe
viewers.
this will what we need to bring the kids into the show.
Yeah. Yep.
You know?
And then we will be influencers.
Right. Influencer, yes.
Maybe better drink some water over there.
We influence the kids not to go to school, but to stay home and watch Smack and Jack.
We've been nothing but educational
That's a good idea.
up to this point.
Yes.
All right, let's do
Okay.
some jokes, folks.
Okay.
All right, now these jokes are all our Easter jokes from 2 weeks ago
Right.
that I had all printed out, ready to go. Then we had to do our little cancellation of that show. So, are you still on?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
I see.
No.
got
It might
it.
be
All
too
right.
late, but I'm just go
Okay.
ahead.
All right, so these are all from Good Housekeeping as usual. What do rabbits say before they eat?
What?
Let us pray.
I should have known it.
Okay, number 2. What did the Easter egg ask for at the hair salon?
What?
A new dye job. All right. Why don't rabbits get hot in the summer?
Why?
They have hair conditioning. H-A-R-E.
Yeah.
How can you tell which rabbits are getting old?
How?
Because then it would be a foot. Remember, like Linda always used to have rabbits, like a rabbit
Yeah,
thing.
yep.
Like,
Keychain kind of.
it's kind of freaked me out. When
Yeah.
I was 4 or 5. Like, wait, that was a
That was
foot
a
of
that was a thing. Yeah.
And that's like that's a good idea for a souvenir.
It was a good luck charm, I
I
think.
guess so.
One good luck for the rabbit.
I guess not.
You know,
Like
so many rabbits are running around with missing a foot.
Yeah, like when do they get those feet? Is it like post-mortem or
Well,
is
no,
this
I'm
like,
wondering if they're like there's the crabs they have out in California. What do they call rock crab? The real big Dungeness.
okay?
They harvest them. They take they only take one claw off because that's all they eat, and they throw them back, and then they grow them back. So I wonder if
Oh,
that's
get
how
out.
they. Yeah,
No, rabbits can't do that.
you sure?
I don't think so.
Well, there's no way they would kill a rabbit just for the foot.
I know that's what I'm saying. Is that
It was the 70s.
that
but, you know.
comes after? All right. What do you get when you cross a bunny with an onion?
But
A bunion. Nice. Did you cheat and look at that?
no, that was that just gave
Nice.
a
All right.
rabbit with an onion.
How can you make Easter preparations go faster?
How?
Use the express lane.
Oh,
And what do you call an Easter egg from outer space?
what?
An extraterrestrial.
Oh,
I could hardly say that.
extraterrestrial.
All right, so folks, you have some really good Easter jokes for next year.
yes,
Sorry, they're like a little
Around
bit
the,
behind the season at this point, but they were good. They were good jokes. That's why I didn't want to let them go. All right, what do you got for us, Keith? Because
yeah,
we have to do trivia.
I was thinking of something kind of. I don't really see anything other than.
Okay. We've kept these folks for long enough, so they're sitting on the edge of their chair, and I see we do have some responses here.
Okay. One thing.
Okay.
Because this is big. This day. It is the 24th, right?
Is it the 24th? What's today, folks?
79/8/24. What the hell?
Today's the 22nd.
What is this? 79/8/24. That would be.
I don't know.
It's
It's like
8.
Like
8 is what?
yeah,
August?
8's not. Yeah. Like we're months off here.
It should be called On a Day in Rock and Roll History. Okay, we'll do some rock and roll history next week when I can figure out what day it is.
We'll do it in August.
Yes.
Okay, let's get back into our trivia answers. You want to pull up the screen so you can see some of the responses that we have here? I see we got a few there from Joey. It looks like everybody else is suspiciously quiet on these particular questions.
I
for
gotta
the trivia.
tell you, they are tough.
Yeah. All right. So let's find out how we're doing here. I'm going to go to my screen share again, and
yeah, Joey, you're good.
Okay, so let's go here. American Idol runner-up Bo Bice released what song in 2005? Survey says Insider Your Heaven. Insider Your Heaven. Should that be Inside Your Heaven? I don't know.
Insider Your Heaven.
I don't know. Is that a real song? I don't know. That's what I'm going to.
I'm trying to think of Bo Bice as a real. I think he was a country singer, and I didn't realize he was an American Idol. But I knew he was bad. So Insider Your Heaven.
Maybe I messed up.
Illiterate.
Maybe I messed up that title when I was editing here. What singer earned praise from critics in 2008 with a few words in defense of our country?
Well, it wasn't the Dixie Chicks. I know that. Go ahead.
Randy Newman.
Randy Newman. Wow.
Do you know Randy Newman?
Yeah. Remember that song, Fat People? Or no, what is it? Short People.
Oh,
Short People.
Yeah. Wow. That's cool.
Like, well, he's been done a lot of stuff. Yeah. And I didn't even know he was alive in 2008.
No relation to Gary.
No.
Gary.
Or, no.
Which female singer recorded There You'll Be, featured in the movie Pearl Harbor?
God, I don't know that either.
All right, here we go. Faith Hill.
Oh, no, why don't I know that?
I was going to say, why don't you know that one?
I love Faith Hill.
What reality TV star released a single called About Us?
Very unmemorable, apparently, our Faith is.
In 2006. What reality TV star released a single called About Us in 2006?
A single?
And it apparently begins with the letter B. Bob Boone. Brooke Hogan. I don't know. I have no idea. Yeah. Nelly, P. Diddy, and Murphy Lee had #1 in 2003 with the song Shake Ya.
I'm going to say Booty.
I was thinking that too.
Tail feather. What is this like? Are we being pimped now? Not pimped. What do you call that? Punked. Are we being punked?
2003. Justin Timberlake had a hit with the song "Cry Me."
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm not even watching that. Sophia got that. Tail feather.
Okay. Last one.
And we have from her and Joey. We have River. Well, he said liver, but I'm going to say
"Cry Me a Liver."
Cry me.
Well done, folks. Man,
yeah,
right on this.
I think I do. I've heard the Justin Timberlake.
Okay. Nice. Yeah, they were. I didn't know any of them. As a matter of fact, I hadn't heard of anybody on the right side of the answers.
No.
I had not heard of any of those songs.
I know P. Diddy.
I know it's
I don't know why. I think it's because he now owns either Hennessy or Patron. And Justin Timberlake. Every time I hear Justin Timberlake, I'm thinking I'm wondering if Justin Timberlake would be as popular now if Michael Jackson had lived. And I'm not making a joke here.
Huh. He
sounds everything about him. He sounds like Michael Jackson.
Really?
Yes. The music, everything. And they played a heck out of him on the radio. And I'm wondering if Michael Jackson was still around, if he would even be a thing. And every time I hear Justin Timberlake, they say who it was, I'm thinking, you haven't had a good pair of Timberlands in a long time.
Right. Well,
wonder how much
one would lead to the other.
How much does a pair of Timberlands cost now?
Now, here's a question for you, Keith, as far as trivia goes.
Hey.
And I think hey, Vince, I think I know the answer to this. I'm not 100% sure. Who was the backup band on Michael Jackson's Thriller album? Who played the band? Who was the band?
I don't know that.
Does anybody know that out there?
Yeah, I know there was a guitar player on another song, but no,
I think now we'll have to search this up because
Yeah.
it's been a while. But you just reminded me of when you mentioned Michael Jackson, and I found this fascinating. I believe it was Toto.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So don't take my word for that. Look that up. But
Well-
it is one of those bands. I'm pretty sure it was Toto who played backup on that album.
Well, I could see that because I believe Toto was a kind of a super group made up of session players.
Okay.
So if that's,
and we had that conversation before,
yes,
right?
so they could obviously, Michael Jackson always had the best of the best. So
Yeah.
I could see that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Huh,
So I found that very
wow,
interesting. I was like, wow,
really?
really? Okay. I
Yeah.
think that is it, folks, for us
Yes.
today. Man, it's been a while, but
Yes.
it's been a great show.
And
I
it
had
seems
fun
like,
today.
you say you can go away from a show for a while and you come back, you haven't missed a beat, but we haven't hit a beat yet.
Yeah, we have no beat to miss.
Right. So,
And that's all we have to say about that.
Yeah, that's all we have to say about that. Yeah, thanks for stopping by. I'm glad. Good to see you.
Yeah,
Angel.
Yeah.
We'll do this more in the future. It's great getting together on a Saturday.
Well, let's review why we haven't been on. You were sick a couple
Yes.
weeks ago. The other part of that is he has a job now that kind of takes some of his Saturdays away. And,
it's enough said. I have a job now.
Right. Okay. Yeah. And with the Mountain House, we'll be up
Yeah.
there next week, raking and all that stuff. So our time's stretched a little bit. And what I do want to make sure we do is get back to, we have to do a review, a 1-year review on the Miele vacuum cleaner.
Oh, yeah.
So that's going to take a
Okay.
Saturday morning. That will
Yeah.
not be live. We'll do
Okay.
that as a YouTube review.
and then we can also see where Mila Jokovic has been.
That's true. Yep. We need to check up on that.
Since
on him.
her,
Or her.
it's a I think it's a woman. It was a woman when she was in those supernatural shows. I think that's her name. Not shows.
Anyway, we're also thinking about getting a green screen here, folks. And the fact that there's a
That
missing
brain
frame right
Yeah.
up there just reminded me. I moved my head. I see. Oh yes, we're gonna work on a green screen, which means we have to go to the fabric store and get some a green appropriate green
I
fabric.
think the sidekick here might have some work to do in the next couple of weeks.
Yeah,
I gotta hop my car and go somewhere.
he offered to do that one too.
Yeah,
I
am going to do it.
remember him saying, "Should I go get some?" And I was like, "Whoa, wait a second! It is a new
Pump
year."
the brakes.
He said, "Should I?" It's like, by all means. All right. Thanks for being with us, folks. We're gonna get out of here. Get on to the rest of your beautiful Saturday, and we'll let you know, or we'll
hopefully
be on again.
Yeah, enjoy get out and do something. It's the best time of the year. Don't worry about your allergies. You can worry about.
Well, I was just going to say, if you're going to
sneeze.
cut your grass today, put a mask on, because that's what I'm going to do.
Well, you know what I did the other day? It was I guess it was last week because my bike hasn't been running this week. After I was feeling a little better, I said, "Look, I tired of coughing, tired of not feeling good. I went out on like a 2-hour ride with my helmet and my goggles, but I had my mouth and nose open the entire time.
Oh, okay.
And it was just
that.
Well, it
recommended, or
I don't know. All the smells of and that's what's making me sick anyway. But every time you turn around a corner, there's another smell of a tree or a branch,
which sometimes is a beautiful smell.
Yeah,
and sometimes it's like, whoa.
But it only lasts a second. Then you got some buds here or there, and it was just And I haven't felt worse. I'm gonna say so. Anyway, okay,
all right.
Well, that's about it.
We're out of here.
Okay, yeah.
Right. Thanks, guys.
Yeah, yep. See you next time.
Have a great week. See ya.